We're now 1 month into the season and finished week number 4 in fantasy basketball. We also have new division leaders in our league. Good evening. This is Saigon John with the Hoosier Daddy Fantasy Basketball Report here on Octane Infinity TV. For the next 10 minutes, I'll go over with you the happenings in our IFBLO Fantasy Basketball. So let's go ahead and get started. Our first matchup to report was Edwin versus Jonas, the three-point bank shot master, going up against the mole buster himself. Edwin led 5-4 after Saturday. His lineup was a little vulnerable tonight. Jared Jack, who just got traded, would not be in action, so Edwin really only had two guys playing tonight to defend his slight lead. Meanwhile, Jonas had a strong lineup consisting of 5 players in action tonight, and sure enough, that advantage was certainly helpful to Jonas. He was down 13 assists before today, but with only a 12-3 advantage in dimes, Jonas does come up short. So this matchup really came down to the wire in rebounds. Charlie Villanueva's 11 rebounds earlier today gave Jonas 3 rebound advantage going into tonight's last game, which was the Golden State Warriors visiting the LA Lakers. Stephen Curry and Kobe Bryant added to Jonas's lead. They combined for another 9 rebounds for him. But Edwin had Reggie Williams and Andres Biedrins for the Warriors tonight. And while he got 3 rebounds from Reggie Williams, Edwin got 9 from Andres Biedrins. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have a tie in rebounds and a tie overall in this matchup. Edwin, who led for the last couple days, settles for a tie with Jonas, 4-4. The second matchup now is Adam taking on Good Mike. Good Mike was determined to take down the reigning champ, or the division leader, I should say, as well. And Mike did make one personnel move this week, while Adam's team pretty much stayed pat with the 14 players he has on his roster. Although he did lose a total of 4 games this week due to injuries from Andre Iguodala and Dwayne Wade. Those guys shoot a lot, and but efficiency, however, really helped Adam with his remaining players, securing him wins in both the percentage categories, although Good Mike convincingly won in points and threes. He also bested Adam easily in rebounds and assists, while Adam's team won with fewer turnovers. So it's now down to the last 2 categories here. Adam trailed by only 1 steal after Saturday. And while he got 0 from Paul Gasol, he did get 2 steals from Kevin Garnett. Mike had 3 players eligible today, but Rajon Rondo did not play today due to a hamstring injury. Gilbert Arenas did play for Good Mike. He played 43 minutes at Detroit today. Very impressive numbers in scoring and assists, but Agent Zero didn't get him any steals at all. So that left Good Mike with Trevor Ariza, usually a solid contributor in the steals category. Ariza now with the Hornets, and they played at Sacramento tonight. In 33 minutes, Ariza did capture 2 steals, so Mike pulled ahead and wins steals by just 1. So now moving from steals to blocks, Mike led by 4 going into today, and none of his players added to that lead there. But keeping Adam's team from losing 6 games this week was Gasol. He swatted the Warriors looks like 4 times today. So Adam ties in blocks and only loses to Mike this week 5-3. Next up is Rene versus Scott. Rene trailed Scott 6-3 after Saturday, but 3 categories remained close, both of the shooting percentages and block shots. Rebounds and threes also looked very close, so really should have been anybody's game, right? Well, let's see. Rene's Hoop Kings had 4 guys in action on Sunday, just 2 for Scott, though. Hacksaw had Chris Paul in his lineup. CP3 shot 2 for 12 in that squeaker over Sacramento. Rene takes field goal percentage. JaVale McGee and David West also came through with a combined 4 block shots, winning that category for Rene as well. Combined the turnover category, he won pretty decisively. 3 wins were really all Rene was going to get against Scott. Although Rene had a 32-11 advantage today on the boards, he still lost that category by 8 rebounds. Scott also won free throws by just under 2%. The matchup really could have gone either way. But Scott comes up big, defeating Rene this week 6-3, and he also now moves into the division lead for the American division. Moving now, we have Evil Mike up against the commissioner, Edwin. Evil Mike trying to hang on to a narrow advantage over Edwin. He was up 5-4 before today. Mike only had Rodney Stuckey and Carl Landry in action. Edwin had 6 eligible players today, but John Wall obviously missed another game, his 4th straight due to his injury. David Lee out for his 5th straight game. So Edwin's team certainly riddled by injuries. Today he opted to bench Andre Blache and Tyreek Evans. So what really was to happen here? Well, field goal percentage was very close, and really the only category to watch in this matchup today. Blache and Evans, let's see their numbers. They shot a combined 13 for 34 tonight. It was pretty horrid. However, the 2 remaining players that Edwin did opt to play was Monte Ellis and Darrell Wright. They combined for 7 of 27. Ouch, Edwin. Looks like benching every player would have been your best option today, but we all learn, buddy. Evil Mike comes out victorious, and it looks like it's his first head-to-head victory in Fantasy League this season after losing the first 3 weeks. So he beats Edwin, and not only that, he knocks him off the top of the division. So he comes out with a 5-4 win there. The final matchup was Chris taking on my team. This was fairly seesaw for the first 3 to 4 days, and then after Friday, I came out with a commanding 8-1 lead. That would hold up after Saturday, and today Chris had the opportunity to close in on some gaps with 4 active players today. Andrew Bynum is still on the shelf. If you ask me, I probably would not have held on to him for 4 weeks with no activity. That's just me. I had Bargnani, Okafor, and Lamar Odom playing today. I could have gone the conservative route and benched all 3 of them, but I just really wanted to see where my numbers were going to take me, because I think I was going to make a huge statement after tonight. So let's see how I finished here. No point guards in action for either one of our teams, and my lead and assists were very close. Chris had Ron Artest. It all came down to the last game, by the way, the Lakers and Golden State. Chris had Ron Artest. I had Lamar Odom. Both of them. You know what? The Lakers just totally routed Golden State today. The Lakers really didn't even need to play either one of these guys in the second half, really. But Artest finished with 20 minutes. Odom with 27. They both finished with 3 assists apiece. So I held on there in assists. I look at the scorecard here. I had no business whatsoever winning field goal percentage. Lucky for me, Chris's team had by far the worst shooting percentage from the field. The only team that shot below 40% there. So everywhere else, this matchup wasn't even close. Chris would win with fewer turnovers, but I cleaned up the rest of the scorecard here. So I defeated Chris 8-1. So after 4 weeks, we now move on to league standings. League standings brought to you by RC Cola. Coke, Pepsi, come on, decide for yourself. Royal Crown. So let's. I'm going to start with me, because now I move to the top of the Asian division with a 23-13 record. Edwin now moves down to second, 3 games behind me. And then a tie for third was Rene and Jonas with a 16-19 and 1 record. Evil Mike rounding out the division with a 15-20 and 1 record. To the American division, as I mentioned before, Scott now moves into the lead with a 20-14 record with 2 ties. Adam moves down to second place, 2 games behind, 18-16 and 2 there. Oh, and sorry, Mike, you tie Adam for second place there in the American division with an identical record. Fourth place in the division is Evan with 15-20 and 1 record, and then last place in the league is Chris now, just only having 1 week this week. He trails everybody with a 14-22 record. So let's now take a look at league leaders for the week. League leaders brought to you by RC Cherry. That's right, Octane Infinity Royal Crown taste in a delicious cherry flavor. So let's start off with field goal percentage. Adam wins. He's the only guy to shoot, only team to shoot. Excuse me, tongue tied now. It's that RC that I can't get that off my mind. Adam's team was the only team that shoot 500 from the field. Evil Mike came close with just 0.4% behind. Scott gets a narrow lead over Jonas in free throw percentage by 0.2%. It looks like. I led in threes, very close margin there as well, defeating or coming over. Sorry, having one more than Jonas's team. And then in points, Scott led everybody with 699. Rebounds led by Good Mike with 268. Evil Mike not too far behind with 265. In assists, Scott leads in that category as well, giving him 3 category leads this week with 176 assists. Steals, Rene and I tied at 41 with Evan very close at 40. Block shots, I win that category for the second time in 3 weeks with 36. Edwin behind by just one with 35. Man, everybody is so close in all these categories this league. It's been really competitive. Finally, turnovers, Rene had the fewest with 65, and Chris had 2 more than that. So now we move on to free agency in week 4. Waiver wire, by the way, brought to you by Diet RC. Good stuff, by the way. So you want a Diet Cola without aspartame, Diet RC is the way to go. 4 GMs have made moves this week. Let's start with Evil Mike, the move master himself. He only made 1 move this week, dropping the Kings' Francisco Garcia for his team. I need a drink. Give me some RC Cola on the rocks. Okay, very good. As I was saying, Garcia for his Sacramento teammate Carl Landry. Scott also made 2 moves. He first dropped Lewis Williams and picked up Kirk Heinrich. He also moved on without Carlos Delfino. He drops him in favor of the Blazers' Wesley Matthew, a guy that I know Edwin was looking at. So the next GM was Good Mike. Good Mike made 1 move. I think, if record serves me correct, I think that's the only move he's made this season so far. He dropped Anthony Randolph and added Chris Humphreys. And you want to talk about an unknown? I don't even know what team he plays for. Sorry, Mike. Last GM was Jonas to make a move. He dropped Robin Lopez of the Phoenix Suns. The center is believed to be out for the next month, so understandable move on Jonas's part. He picks up the Miami Heat's Udonis Haslem. However, later in the week, he dropped Haslem in favor of Milwaukee Bucks power forward center Drew Gooden. So, once again, the previous 3 segments brought to you by RC Cola Products. Be sure to get yours at a store near you. As the league moves on to week 5, let's take a look at our matchups in the upcoming week. First is the Family Feud matchup between Evan and his evil stepson, Evil Mike. Then we have the American Division showdown between the league leader, Scott, versus Chris. While in the Asian Division, Jonas goes up against Edwin. Good Mike faces Rene. And finally, the 2-time league champion, defending champion, Adam, goes up against me. And next week I will be away on vacation. I am going to get my ass out of cold Portland into sunny Hawaii. So we'll let you know during the week if I do broadcast a final report next Sunday. It'll have to be on location from Hawaii. So as long as I can get a cameraman and a computer, I think I should be able to work that out. So from all of us here at Octane Infinity, this has been Saigon John with the Hoosier Daddy, and boom goes the dynamite.